This is 42-year-old Matthew Huddle from Hobart, Indiana. Matthew was just deleted from life after getting a pardon from President Donald Trump for his participation in the January 6th college frat party that mainstream media likes to call the Capitol insurrection and riot. Huddle was shot and killed by a deputy from the Jasper County Sheriff's Department during a traffic stop. It's being reported by the Propaganda Office for the Indiana State Police that the fatal shooting occurred at about 4:15 p.m. on Sunday, shortly after a deputy with the Jasper County Sheriff's Office stopped Huddle's vehicle near the Pulaski County line. Now, we're told that while the deputy was attempting to arrest Huddle, an altercation broke out between the two and ended with the deputy shooting Huddle. Of course, officials have not yet said why the deputy initiated the traffic stop, and they've been silent about the nature of the attempted arrest. Police said an early investigation found Huddle had a firearm at the time of the traffic stop, but they have not detailed what role that firearm played in this shooting. And a review of available court records did not indicate whether Huddle was prohibited from having a firearm. And it's interesting to note, but absolutely expected, that currently the Indiana State Police have not released the body cam footage. At this point, you may be wondering, are the Indiana State Police and the Jasper County Sheriff's Department deputies even required to wear body cams? And the answer is yes and yes. Both departments are required by the state to wear them. Check out this video from July 2021.
Drop it now! Drop it now!
He just reached for something in his belt.
These are just a few of the moments caught on Louisville Metro Police body cameras over the past year. These and other videos can help protect the public and officers when there are questions about what happened during an interaction with police. Now hundreds of Indiana State Police troopers will have body cameras for the first time, and hundreds more will get them in the coming weeks. Brooke is live this morning, and Brooke, this process of getting body cameras to officers, this has been nearly a year in the making.
Kristen, Governor Eric Holcomb issued that order back in August, mandating that all Indiana State Police begin wearing those body cams. Up until now, they only had the dash cams that were mounted inside their cars. That's not going to be the case starting this week. It's going to be a 3-camera system, and it's going to, again, as you mentioned, start off with a couple hundred officers, costing the state about $15 million over the next 5 years. Breaking down what this means, ISP's putting them on every single trooper on patrol. 200 of them starting this week, another 600 in the next month or so. ISP Sellersburg Post only has about 2 cameras so far, but it'll eventually get up to 47. So you'll have the body cameras, the dash cams, and a third camera will then face the front passenger side to record anyone else who's in that officer's car.
Before we get back to the killing of Matthew Huddle, you heard that right. $15 million to outfit all state police officers with body cams.
Costing the state about $15 million over the next 5 years.
Here's how outrageous this is. If you do a simple Google search for the number of ISP or Indiana State Police officers that are out there, we come up with the number 1,279. This news segment mentions outfitting just a couple hundred police officers, but let's be generous and round the total number up to 1,300 cops. $15 million divided by 1,300 costume clowns comes out to $11,538.46 per body cam. I don't know where they're shopping for these body cams, but I did a little body cam research on Amazon, and the most expensive one I found was this Transcend GPS night vision body cam for $248. Well, let's round that up to $250. So $250 times 1,300 cops comes out to $325,000, not $15 million. And if you take $15 million minus $325,000, Can somebody tell me where 14,675,000 taxpayer dollars went? So the Indiana State Police, obviously highway robbers, are required to wear body cams. But how about the Jasper County Sheriff's deputies, since it's one of their deputies that shot Huddle? And what do you know? Yes, the Jasper County, Indiana Sheriff's Office has body-worn cameras for all department members. The body-worn cameras help the department to be more transparent and accountable. It says the Jasper County Sheriff's Office received grant assistance to purchase new body-worn cameras for all department members. The body-worn cameras, they say, help the department operate more efficiently and promote transparency and accountability. Matter of fact, Sheriff Williamson says the body-worn cameras are reliable and knowing they'll work every day is a huge comfort. But how can you be held accountable and be transparent when you don't release the footage from those $11,000 body cams to show the public exactly what happened? Let's get back to the body cams are required for all Indiana police video.
If it's a traffic stop, when lights are activated on a car, emergency lights are activated on a car, the camera will kick in. If a weapon is drawn, the camera will turn itself on.
We don't fear the camera. We want the camera on to show you what we're doing, why we're doing it, and it truly feels protective for us.
The issue flared up back in April of last year when an Indiana trooper shot and killed a man during a traffic stop over in Jeffersonville. No video of that incident, no charges filed. Today, ISP policy prohibits officers from muting their microphones or stopping a recording, possibly facing misdemeanor charges if they do. Only able to deactivate those cameras once they reach the conclusion of an event.
So according to this report, not only are they required to wear them, they're prohibited from stopping the recording as they wear them. So we should expect the full body cam footage shortly of the Matthew Huddle shooting, right? Apparently, Indiana cops have been so bad that they had to put other reform measures in place.
New police reform just went into effect at the beginning of this month. As you mentioned, with the body cameras for all Indiana officers, it would make it a misdemeanor if they try to turn off that camera to cover up a crime. It also requires officers to take de-escalation training. It bans chokeholds in most instances and defines them as an act of deadly force. It also creates a procedure to decertify officers who commit misconduct, and agencies looking to hire an officer are required to request their personnel files from previous departments. Advocates say these reforms are just a step in the right direction. It is not the end-all be-all, and of course just a step toward more transparency in the new vision.
Currently, Indiana State Police isn't being transparent by failing to immediately release the body cam footage. And based on history, you pretty much know for a fact that if the cops weren't at fault, you'd already have seen the body cam footage. Anybody who's willing to be honest with themselves knows that cops have shown themselves to be such dirt bags, they can't help but brutalize the public even when they know they're being recorded. And to be fair, this is not to say that Matthew Huddle was an angel. Looking into Huddle's record, there are 3 separate cases between 2008 and 2009 in Lake and Porter counties where he was charged with resisting law enforcement, attempted aggravated battery, and domestic battery. Each of these charges was dismissed, and online records don't indicate if they were dismissed because of a lack of evidence or as part of plea agreements. And take it for what it's worth, but this is Huddle's ex-girlfriend sharing her reaction to the report that Huddle was killed by police.
Definitely a mixed range of emotions. The relief was a big one because he's been a big problem for a long time. Especially to hear the way that it happened, he's had a lot of reports with arrests. He's been arrested a lot of times. He's always threatened police officers. It's sad. It's really sad for my daughter, but at the same time, it's like the dark shadow that's been following us around is gone.
She detailed Huddle's history of domestic abuse, including abuse and threats against her child, as well as another shooting incident involving Huddle in 2015 when he allegedly tried to steal an AK-47 from his dad.
Just yesterday morning, he sent that, and then it was a picture of a clown dressed as a prostitute, and I just said, "You're adorable, have a great day," and that was the end of it. He went to go after my son one day when I was pregnant. Like I was starting to say, my son didn't clean his room one day, and he was drunk, and he was like yelling at him. And my son, he was 3 at the time, and he stuck his 4. I'm sorry, he was 4. Stuck his tongue out at him, and he went to go after him, and I went to block him, and my son ran down the stairs, and he went to push me down the stairs. I think I was like 6 months pregnant. He got shot by his dad. He was on work release, but there was a bad blizzard. It was like February 2nd, 2015. He was on work release, and instead of going to work, he went to the bar, and he had called me from the bar to pick him up, and when I picked him up, he got violent as usual and said that if I told anybody that he was there, he was going to kill me, and he left. His dad was down the road. He wasn't aware of the situation that was happening, and he ended up stealing one of his AKs that he had. He had another, or I don't know if it was an AK. It was an assault rifle of some sort. But he took it, and he had it like strapped to his back, and he went. It was a long mess, but anyways, his dad, to try to stop him from doing anything crazy, shot him in the leg, and he went to the hospital.
She claims that Huddle had a history of bad behavior, including drunkenness, domestic abuse, and that she wasn't surprised to hear that he had gone to Washington, D.C. to participate in the January 6th rally.
I believe he actually texted me around the time that he was there. I was like, tell me you didn't go to the Capitol. He was already on probation for multiple cases. He should have never, he should have never been out of the state or anything like that.
Matthew Huddle ended up being tracked down and arrested in Boise, Idaho. The FBI said that he was inside the Capitol for roughly 10 minutes, but remained on the Capitol grounds for several hours. There were a lot of innocent people who ended up being arrested for being at the Capitol that day. Both Huddles were sentenced for storming the Capitol, and Matthew Huddle was sentenced to 6 months in federal prison, followed by 12 months on supervised release. According to federal records, his prison term ended on July 17, 2024. Both Matthew and Dale Huddle were spared from the full consequences after Trump issued a pardon to all the, quote, rioters. What's interesting is that Matthew Huddle isn't the first Capitol participant to quickly face trouble after his pardon. Last week, a Florida man who took part in J6 was arrested on federal gun charges 1 day after being pardoned, which would be a violation of the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. But obviously, cops don't care about that, especially Florida cops. But never fear, because the Indiana State Police is leading the investigation into the shooting that ended with Matthew Huddle's death. So of course, we can expect the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and unedited body cam footage if they even decide to release it. As everybody can expect, the unnamed deputy who pulled the trigger has been placed on paid vacation during the investigation. So for one reason or another, we just don't know yet, another fellow American has been eliminated under the color of traffic law. If you get something out of these videos, maybe you'd like to take some time right now and watch a couple of my others. Start with the most popular playlist, watch some videos you haven't seen yet, and work your way down. It really helps channels like this one get off the ground. This is vital information everybody needs to see. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with everybody you know. If you want to support the channel further, grab a shirt from the store, become a channel member, but more importantly, wherever you go, whatever you do, always record the police. I will see you in the next video.